Where do I fit? You know, I don't know where I fit, because it's always been about, for me, it's always been about the other person. In that image, we know we have to portray that character. So I was living in that character of provider, protector.
Absolutely.
And I know what I was going to allow and not allow. If someone would have asked me that then, I probably would have made a story, right? Oh, this makes me happy, this makes me happy. And then I would cry in the dark. I've gone into therapy, short term, tremendously helped. And I started to feel better, started to internalize some things. I'm good, right? My wife, for example, I don't. I have this stigma in my mind that I have to protect her emotions. As an athlete, professional, collegiate, prep, it doesn't matter. You get talked to so crazy for so long. The coaches yell at you, they cuss at you, because they're trying to pull out the best in you, right? I'm learning how to accept however it's delivered, to understand the emotion behind. We are not beasts. We are loving, caring, genuine people. I would ask you to be authentically yourself in every situation. Understand that there is going to be hate that follows you everywhere you go. Be who you need to be in the situation, but authentically be yourself.
Welcome to Beauty and the Beast, where we create a safe haven for Black men to engage in deep conversations and share their journeys in a judgment-free space.
In each episode, we dive into topics that matter. This is a space where your story is valued, your voice is heard, and your journey is shared with others who, like you, may feel alone in the world. Let's break the myth that Black men are beasts.
Welcome to Beauty and the Beast. Let's start the conversation.
So Black man, right?
Yeah.
So in the interview, we immediately connected. The rest of the panel was like, I don't know. Seems too smart for, like he's too this and too that, right?
This
And
remind
so,
me of Cox like nobody's business.
Oh yeah, it's Cox, right? So in that, I sat with him after the interview. Was like, man, look, I don't know. How they gonna take you?
Yeah.
But we'll make it make sense. So me and the other person did some finagling. We talked through, and he immediately he got brought on board.
I don't know we're talking about Cox, and I worked there for 15 years, is what it is. But that just drives me crazy. But it's not surprising, unfortunately. I don't know. It boggles the mind. I mean, that was years ago, right? And what was that, like 10 years ago plus?
Plus 10 plus,
right?
Yeah, this was 2014.
2014.
But here we sit, and since January of this year, 350,000 Black women have been exited from corporate America.
Yep.
My wife is trying to find a job at executive level, and she's been at it for 2 years.
Yeah,
trying to find a job, and it's
tough.
It's still 10 years removed plus, and I know it has a lot to do with the color of her skin.
Yeah. Here's what I can offer to that situation, because at the time, I know I didn't have the language, and I don't know if he had access to this language, but what it was is I came in extremely confident, articulate. I knew who I was, and I wasn't capitulating to the environment or anybody in the room.
You were perceived as overconfident.
Yeah,
absolutely,
immediately.
Yeah. Absolutely, I was perceived as
overconfident. Let's jump into this. First, Deider, appreciate you being here, brother.
For sure.
Very, very happy to have you on, especially since you come highly recommended from this brother right there, and I implicitly trust this brother in his judgment and character. So, your friend, we friends. Like just what it is, right?
All right.
So, here's how you have been described to me, right? Husband, father, friend, entrepreneur, being a corporate guy. And so the way we like to start this podcast is, tell us of the things that I just described, what in your past as a child set you on that path?
Oh, great question. I would have to say being fatherless,
Hmm.
right? Kind of set me on a path to where was not going to let just well be well enough,
Mm.
right? Um, I knew that I had to push through whatever boundaries that were set in front of me because I had to see my mom work very hard to protect and provide for us, right? Without a father in the home. So then I decided, father, I was going to be the best father I could ever be.
Mm.
Be there in the home, be there, the protector, and so on and so forth. As a corporate guy, be authentic because authenticity is important, but also be the best corporate person that I could be. And then as an entrepreneur, is just look, I need money, and not having a lot of access to money as a kid. I knew that I wanted to live a finer life than I had earlier on in my life. So those 2 or 3, and then as a husband, it's just, this is my second time being a husband. So
Okay.
the first time being a husband, I was learning myself, learning how to provide. And then as a kid, like I said, I didn't get that from the view that I had as a kid. I had to kind of go out and find those father figures in family members or cousins or
Yep.
or someone from in the streets. That
Sound very familiar,
yeah,
don't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was that guided me to be, okay, look, I've done everything else. I need to do this and do this the right way.
So you talked about being a provider. Yes, that's a theme that's come up countless times on this podcast and just in life. And what are your thoughts about that being the primary identity for a man and Black men in general?
Yeah, I think that there is a misconception that we have that going to work is providing, right?
Oof.
Or bringing in money is providing.
Mm-hmm.
There's more to providing than just I work or I'm at home, right? So what I would say, what I believe is you have to understand the pillars of providing. It is providing a safe home. It is providing financial stability for your family. It is guiding them spiritually. It's a holistic approach to what I feel providing is, right? And then I had to learn what providing was from my spouse, right? What she needed to feel provided for, and not just me, man, I provide, right? It's what does she need? So it was a lot of conversations. It was conversing about what I was providing and giving and what she needed. Like I wasn't giving her what she needed to feel good about my provisions, if that makes sense.
So I mean, and you answered the question, but you didn't answer the question. So I'm gonna dig a little bit deeper on that one, right? So one of the things that season 2 for us just dropped. What would be yesterday, but this will air months from now. And we had a licensed therapist on, and we talked about this idea of identity. And then also talked to some other folks too, coaches and whatever have you, and what they have offered. So this is not necessarily just my personal view, but what they have offered is that we sometimes as men and Black men in particular, and I said that wrong earlier when I said Black men generally, it's more Black men in particular tend to over-index on this idea of being a provider, right? And everything you just talked about was about everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? Right? So where do you fit into this equation? And what is your other identities outside of just being a provider?
Oh, where do I fit? I don't know where I fit. Right. Because it's always been about, for me, it's always been about the other person. Right. It's how can I assist you? So I don't really know where I fit in as an individual or as the main character in this provider story. Right. It's just, it is what it is. I know I gotta, as the leader, as the household provider, I know that I have to do these things. And there is no go between. So I don't know kind of where I fit in that. I think I hide behind it too.
Okay.
Right. So that I don't have to make that decision. I don't have to find out where I may be failing or what I need. I'm the provider, so I gotta know I gotta do these things. Right?
So let me just offer this for you, and I'm let me just on an airplane, right? And I've used this analogy before. What did it tell you about the mask?
I'll put it on yourself first.
I'm just saying.
I got
you. What's interesting about you sharing that is I can remember years ago back when we were working together and you showing up in a way that clearly demonstrated that you were the provider, right? Like you were going to grind. And then knowing you beyond that, knowing also that beyond the provider, you're also the protector. And witnessing you conducting yourself in the environment in a way that was protective of yourself in that environment, like you weren't going to allow them to besmirch your character. You weren't going to allow them to make you do some shit you thought was stupid. You weren't going to do anything that was out of alignment with how you felt you should conduct yourself as a professional.
Yeah.
Who you were as a professional at that time, right? Because I've also seen the evolution of that. So much so to where when you felt like they were pushing against that, you pushed back and was like, nah, fuck y'all. I'm not doing that. I'm not saying that. I'm not going there. And we know it eventually led to a separation from that situation. So it's interesting to hear you say that I don't know that about myself because I don't really think about that when I've seen you in such a protective situation of self. And so for me, I immediately connected to, well, he is going to protect, he's going to provide, and he's going to take care of himself. And I think that that's indicative of a larger narrative that people may look at Black men from the outside and think that, oh, they've got it together, they know who they are, they've got it figured out, and they know how they move, when in fact, there's often a lot of self-neglect happening.
Yeah. So I thank you for that. And I do agree with that. I think that there's an image.
Yeah.
Right. And in that image, we know we have to portray that character. So I was living in that character of provider, protector.
Absolutely.
And I know where I fit, right, in the workplace. And I know what I was going to allow and not allow me to be in, right? In the corporate environment.
Yeah.
So much so to the point that it led to a separation.
Right.
Because I was like, look, I don't care what you say, I'm not doing it.
Right.
That's stupid. And I would literally say, that's absolutely stupid. I'm not doing it.
And that's not paraphrasing, bro. Literally, he would tell our manager, that's stupid.
That's stupid. I'm not doing it. Absolutely.
How long did you work there?
11 years.
Oh, you lasted a long time.
Now, let me give you a little backstory. The manager at the time I trained, right? I was the manager. Moved out of a role. So I went from Cox Communications to Enterprises. And, there were some moves and some stuff. And I felt a little besmirched by it. Right. So you're not going to tell me, the person that led you, how to do my job.
You mean when they were putting people in leadership positions who had
Absolutely.
no background in
absolutely.
any of that, and they didn't listen to the people who did?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
in all of that.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, those things that I would share with the team, you would take and get credit for. So now that is coming back, Deider, I need you to do this. Not doing it. Not doing it. That's absolutely stupid.
I've been there.
So, yeah, that led to me leaving. I got a year and some change severance. We parted ways. They gave me a year and some change severance. And you can always come back. Why would I do that? But yeah, I think we live to get back onto kind of I lived in as this character. Right.
There's the mask again.
Mhm.
Right. I lived in this and not knowing or even never having the conversation about who am I? Who are you? And what are the things that make you?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
What makes you happy?
Yeah.
And what makes
I was going there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going there. Go ahead.
I couldn't, if someone would have asked me that then, I probably would have made a story up. Right. Oh, this makes me happy. This makes me happy. And then I would cry in the dark. Right. Because I didn't know.
Right. Do you know it now?
I'm closer.
Okay.
Right. I have had opportunities to have conversations, with men and with, my family members to realize kind of where I am. Right. I've sat with myself and did the introspective work to say, okay, I think this makes me happy. Right?
Have you gone into therapy?
I've gone into therapy, short term, helped, right? Tremendously helped. And where I failed myself was I started to feel better, started to internalize some things. I'm good. Right. I'm good. I don't need to spend that money anymore.
Right.
I'm back at I'm good. But I really want the opportunity to be able to converse, share the thoughts, and emote whatever feelings I need to emote so that I feel whole. Right.
I left something extremely critical out of his bio that just came up to me as you were speaking, which is he is also a former college and professional athlete.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And thinking about
thanks, Malik.
thinking about what it takes, right? Like the mentality it takes to perform at those levels and the level of selflessness, right? That it requires for you to be proficient in those teams, but also how much you need to be focused on. I'm not going to worry about if I'm sick, if I'm hurting.
Got to do it.
I got to do it.
I
got to get it done. And then how that then shows up in your life.
That explains a lot about the identity.
Yeah. There is no identity in professional sports.
But it shapes your identity.
It does.
Basically,
it does.
Right?
It is 100% got to get it done.
Right.
Because your livelihood and your dollars fall behind got to get it done. Right.
So baseball player, by the way.
I was going to say, so so we had another athlete on previous season, and he has his alter ego from back in his professional days, and they call him OC. Right? Do you have an OC, or did you have an OC?
Oh yeah. I was wild, and when it came to playing, there was nothing that was more important. So it was 100%. Nobody is important. Nothing is important except this. Yeah.
Okay. So does that still influence who you are today?
A bit.
Okay.
And so that's a good question. So where that influences me is more in my professional life than my personal life. Right?
Okay. I'm going to challenge you on that.
I'm going to tell you why. In my personal life today, I think a lot more of them when it comes to my professional life, right? 20 years ago, it was, I don't care about nothing.
You can curse. You don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Well, I just don't care. Right
Yeah.
now, I think about them first.
Right.
Right, and what's the impact in their lives on how I move,
Who's
good,
them?
bad, or indifferent. So my wife, kids. I have a daughter, 12. I have a niece that we take care of who's 10,
Mhm.
and then my wife.
Yep.
We'll be married 10 years in October.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I think about, the wife and kids in my first now,
Right.
right? In my decisions versus this is where I'm going.
Because I go back to that Kevin Bentley episode. And the thing about him was he thought about his family first. He knew, though, that in thinking about his family, he was extremely driven, or is extremely driven, but also knows that there are consequences that come with that being extremely driven. But he's like, it is what it is. That my kids are going to be impacted by this. My wife is going to be impacted by this. But this is what I'm doing. Like this. So I'm just curious. Like when you say you think about them first, so did he. So I'm just curious, is there a parallel there for you as well, where you're just like, well, this is what I'm doing? And then sure, you worry about the impact, be like, but this is the decision that's been made and this is where we're going.
Yes and no. Yes, because there is an impact. But now in my previous life, my previous marriage, that's where it was.
Got it.
Right? It was decisions made, don't care about the impacts. This is where we're going.
Yeah.
In this life, in this marriage, it's more about, I don't want to fail because of the impacts or the moves that I make from the previous. So I kind of shifted to where that alter ego that we talked about earlier was, it's kind of suppressed a bit so that I can successfully navigate this new marriage. Right.
Yeah.
Now it works and then it doesn't work.
Gotcha.
Right. It works because we are moving, but then successfully moving towards, multiple years of marriage. Then it, from a professional standpoint, am I doing enough? Right. That's the challenge. Am I doing enough? I could be doing more. Right. And I struggle with that.
So I laugh because knowing him as well as I know him, when he says professionally he could be doing more, you're talking about somebody that juggles multiple contracts at a time, has entrepreneurial ventures on the side, right? Like he's engaged in so many things. So to hear him say, well, professionally, I'm not sure if I'm doing enough, it's like, bruh.
I'm not, bro. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I do have multiple things happening, right? Multiple functions and contracts, and my wife and I are doing a whole bunch of entrepreneurial moves. They're not mine.
Wait, huh?
They're not all mine, right?
Okay.
The ideas typically stem from my wife's ideas. She's a thinker. I'm a doer.
Right.
The contract stuff, I do that, right? That's my life, right? I'm like, I need more money, so I gotta get more contracts. The entrepreneurial stuff, that's my wife's stuff, right? Now I help move the needle a lot of times. Where there's a need, I fill the gap. That's not my stuff, man.
Okay. I'm like, all right, how far do I push this? I mean, because I'm trying to understand when you say it's not yours, right? You're in a union.
It's ours.
Okay.
So it's ours. It's our moves, right?
Right.
It's a unionized move, but they're not my ideas.
Yeah.
But so real quick, so what I'm hearing, right? I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but what I'm hearing is a sense of like this sounds like there's a gap somewhere. This sounds like to me it's like, but it's not my idea, so it's not. I don't have full ownership over it. It just sounds like it's almost operating from a place of loss rather than a holistic view. So I'm just trying to understand that a little bit more.
So let me tweak and
Yeah.
recalibrate what he's saying. What would make it feel like yours?
Let me rephrase, because it's ours, right? What would make it feel like nothing? Because it's our it's mine too.
Right.
I think where I struggle in the articulation of it's not
Right.
not my
Right.
the idealistic views are me saying, coming to the table with, we're going to do these things,
Mm-hmm.
and then moving forward with those things
Mm-hmm.
idealistically, right?
Right.
Is where I struggle. Is where I'm missing the that's the gap.
Got it.
Right. So not that her coming to the table with, hey babe, let's do Bettered Soul, right? And Bettered Soul is a bath line product.
Mhm.
We have a men's line and women's bath bombs.
Say,
and
I
salts.
want to make sure everybody hears that.
Bettered Soul.
Bettered.
Yeah.
Soul.
BETTERD. So that was one line that we did that for a while. And then Parkland Consulting Group, where we consult for small businesses, help with their digital marketing, help with their recruiting efforts and HR efforts. So those are some of the things that we kind of started together, right? And then I kind of let it just lapse,
Okay.
right? Because it was, okay, well, what are we doing? And I'm pushing more on my wife. What are we doing? Where are we going? Versus me taking it to the next level.
Right.
Does that make sense? So those are the things where I said, they're not my ideas. And I felt like I should have been doing more, right? Because I'm not doing enough in those aspects of entrepreneurial.
Do you think then, though, you don't do enough because you feel like it's not yours?
No, I don't do. Maybe. Thank you.
I'm just saying. Like, I mean, it's right here on the table for me. Like, I'm just.
Probably. Yes.
You didn't give him Tori's number?
Oh, we've had questions about that and referrals and all the things.
Yeah, Tori is the doctor, right?
Yeah.
So Tori and she wasn't taking clients at the time.
Got it.
Yeah. So we've had a couple conversations, but it wasn't the right time. But yeah.
What is the right time?
For her. Right?
Oh, for her.
Yeah,
for her. But
for
do you
her.
feel like the right time is now for you to be?
Oh, absolutely.
There?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I have a number for you. I mean, come on, dude.
Absolutely.
You gotta.
He's a pusher.
Yes, I am.
I'm a space holder.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No.
So
I'm a push.
So when people tell me that they are ready for something and they ask for something, then I try to be a resource. He's the one that pushes people to things.
It's
not me.
I am. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'll tell you why. All right, I'll tell you why. If you're wondering, previous guests we just had on, and who knows the order of these things and how they will show up. But there will be a gentleman by the name of Tariq Miller, right? And we were just talking about him, right? Check on your friends, right? I see the need. I see the gap. I could be 1,000% wrong. But I'd rather you be pissed off with me and I'm 1,000% wrong, but I'm trying to push you to something so that you don't take a different path. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I 100% believe in that.
That's me. That's why I push. Now,
of course,
what makes us good friends is that he holds space.
Yeah.
Right? I push, he holds space. And so he's in therapy because I pushed. One of my best friends is in therapy because I pushed. And he was a guest on the show, Douglas Kelly. But it took him 5 years. And then after he accepted, it was 6 months before he actually picked up. But I'm so anyway, I'm just gonna say I fully recognize that, yeah, I'm gonna push, but I also know that you're not gonna do anything until you're ready to do it.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about that we never really talked about is I used to be a pusher. I used to be a pusher. Very much so.
I'm your pusher.
Exactly. And I think that once I started going through therapy, and specifically couples therapy, I realized how much I was pushing my mentality or my worldview onto people in the interest of trying to help them. But I was sometimes pushing a shoe that didn't fit them. And how that resonated with me was heavier than, like you said, pushing with, okay, you might be mad at me, and you know, if it helps you, it helps you, and I would take you being mad. It started being more comfortable for me to become this person that just held space.
Yeah.
Coupled with, you know, my coaching work that I did, like that felt more authentically
Authentic to
me.
you.
Yeah.
No, I did want to go back to kind of the drive, right? When is enough enough?
For me, it's probably never going to be enough. Yeah. I think it goes back to my childhood. I grew up in a very passive aggressive household.
I almost did something my mom would not be excited for me to do, but I'm not going to say anything.
Very passive aggressive household. My whole family's passive aggressive. I'm different. I'm direct.
Aggressive as shit.
Yeah, I'm super direct in conversations. You're either gonna like me or you're gonna hate me, right? Because of that, I want it to be different from me.
He's a pusher.
I'm in the middle.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I'm in the middle.
He's somebody who don't really like. He has a large amount of I don't give a fuck what you think about me in him.
Yeah,
gotcha.
It is a surplus.
I haven't gotten there yet, but let's go back. You were saying rooted in family and passive aggressiveness.
So growing up, in a household where again, my dad was absentee. My mom did. My mom worked a couple jobs to make sure we were good, and then I grew up with a cousin who was pinned in competition against me, right? Girl, a year younger, and her dad is my mom's brother. So we were the first two kids that came out.
Yeah.
So it was, well, my daughter's better than you, right?
Yeah.
And I had to compete with that all my life, right? So I left small town Louisiana, never looked back, because my drive was, I'm going to show your ass, right? So enough can never be enough for me, because it's, let me point back at you and say, I told you I was better than them, right? I knew I was better than them, and you just kept the competition going. You, unbeknownst to them, that they made me a monster, right? My uncle. That particular uncle made me a monster. Like, oh, okay.
I'm gonna show you.
Let me look at me now, right? And so that, to answer that question, I don't think enough is gonna ever be enough for me.
So understanding where you got that drive from and you got that appetite from, how well do you feel that serves you now in this season of your life?
You gave him pause.
It serves me. It's not that good now.
It's not what?
I don't need it. I don't need that drive today.
Okay.
Right. I don't need as much of the drive. I still need to be driven, but I don't have to point the finger. I don't need that my family member to be the driving force behind how I move.
Yeah.
It needs to be about. I need it to be about the decisions I make and the family members that I have today. The people that love and care for me, and that I love and care for today, versus it being about the competition. I think, though, the competition is who I am. I'm super competitive.
Most professional athletes are.
It could be tying shoes. I'm gonna beat your ass.
It could be flag football.
It could be
not flag. Fantasy football.
Yeah. I have a competition. Like there's that nerve that everything is. I have to be better than you at everything.
Quick aside: the only time me and this dude ever had static was over competition.
Yeah.
Over fantasy football.
Yeah. He was cheating.
All right, so we've been talking about this dude cheating, this dude being uber competitive. So as you see, we're having fun on this one. This is great. Follow us on our social channels. You can find us at Beauty and the Beast 2025 on YouTube. You can find us on IG by Beauty and the Beast. You can also find us on TikTok, same thing, Beauty and the Beast. So follow us, engage with us, have a conversation with us.
Work hits different when you've been grinding for years and still feel like your goals are out of reach. You've persevered, you've been successful, but something is still blocking your growth. At Authenticity Unleashed Coaching, I help leaders untangle what's internal so they can move forward with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Follow me on socials, book your free discovery session, and when you're ready to embrace change, use the code BITB2025 to get half off your first coaching session. Let's unleash your authentic self together.
So we've been having a really good conversation with this brother Deider. He's been walking us through his background. I've been challenging him a little bit emotionally. I've been pushing. Somebody else has been holding space. My co-host over here, Malik. Hopefully you're enjoying this conversation. If you want to engage with us, please follow us on social. Also share. Check us out on YouTube, on Amazon, on Spotify. We've got all of season 1 out there. I think you will really enjoy it. And by the time this airs, season 2 would have all dropped as well. So please engage with us on all channels. So let's get back into this conversation. I've actually really been enjoying it. So talk to us about kind of how your past shapes who you are today, but more so from an emotional standpoint. Do you see the emotional maturity in yourself over the years, and are you satisfied with who you are?
So how the past has shaped me. I never knew how to be emotional. You know, kind of growing up. You know, we're taught as black men don't cry.
Right.
So I never knew how to emote how I was feeling, and more so how to articulate how I was feeling. Mm-hmm. Naturally, I'm an emotional guy, you know, so today with a lot of introspective work, I'm able to be emotional. I'm able to say how I feel, to a certain extent.
Okay.
How's it feel to be able to have the language and access to that now?
It's great. It's amazing to have access to those feelings, and also the language to present the feelings that I have. Yeah. Let me go back to the certain extent.
Yeah, I was gonna bring you back.
Yeah, I know you would. That certain extent. So certain people, I can tell you, for you as an example, however you made me feel, however I think you may feel, right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm gonna tell you, right? My wife, for example, I don't. Right? And I think because of the stigma, I have this stigma in my mind that I have to protect her emotions.
I get that.
As best as I can.
I get that.
Right? I won't be direct, as direct as I would to a Malik, right? Or you, or someone who's and then men, for example, you just gonna get it, however it come out,
right?
Because you can take it, right?
Oh, you think they can take it,
right? And that's what I was gonna say. I think that you can take it,
right?
Because that's what society tells us. That's what we grew up learning. You could take it.
Yep.
right?
Well, we've been conditioned.
We've been
to believe.
conditioned,
You're
right?
right.
We've been conditioned to know to this place where whatever you've been dished, you can eat it, right? Whatever's in front of you, eat it. So that's why I say I'm in a better place to a certain extent. I feel as if today, talking about where I am and being able to articulate to you guys that I'm not really comfortable sharing those intimate feelings, or even my direct feelings with my wife, will allow me to kind of touch a place where I would want to, you know what I'm saying, be able to say, this is how I feel, this is where I'm going, without feeling like I'm being judged or I'm weak.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where I think I want to continue to progress,
To grow.
right?
It's I feel that, bro, because I can think about my own journey and how I went from not being very vocal about my feelings at all to the pendulum swinging completely the other way and giving everybody the smoke and telling everybody how I felt about whatever I was thinking. And then having to get back to center with that, especially with my wife, because what I learned was I could tell her my unfiltered truth, but I had to tell her in a very artful way. I had to be mindful of how I delivered the message and when I delivered the message.
Timing and tone.
Right? And once I was able to tap into that, we were able to get to a place of we don't argue anymore. We disagree, but we don't argue.
Yeah.
Specifically because we identified she don't like people talking to her crazy. I don't like people talking to me crazy. So let's not talk to each other crazy. And let's
Malik can talk to people crazy.
Can you believe it?
No, not at all.
and then let's do it in a way that's going to provide connectivity, as opposed to dissonance between us.
You know, I think for my relationship in particular, it's about communication style.
Yeah.
Right. When we both think that we communicate effectively.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I communicate very well.
Yeah. I'm very clear.
I'm very clear. No, you're not.
Right.
Right. Because I don't understand what you're talking about. Or vice versa. Right. I'm like, I said this. Well, no, you didn't.
Right.
Well, and I'm like, I know what the hell I said. I said exactly what I said, and that's not what you heard, right? So I think a lot of times where we are sharing our feeling or our emotion, and it becomes a trigger or an issue for someone else, it's because we are not effectively communicating, right? We are saying it because you're saying how you feel, raw, unfiltered, uncut, but are you getting through to that other person, right? And that's important.
For me, what I had to learn is I had to communicate in a way that she could receive it. I can say all the words I wanted to, but if I'm saying it in a way that she can't receive it, then I might as well.
You can't define what's clear,
right?
The receiver has to define.
Yeah, and it's funny you made the whole pendulum, same thing. But for me, I went way too far. Like I became a unadulterated asshole to my wife. I was like, "Oh, I've been holding all this shit back. You about to get it all. You about to get it all." And then I was just cutting it with like a knife. Like it was.
Where do you think that came from?
Resentment. Like, and I didn't have the word back then. I didn't know that was what I was doing. I didn't realize that my communication with her was rooted in my resentment of not her, but of all of this frustration that I had, because you talked about protecting her emotions. Oh, dude, that's all I did for the first 16 years of our marriage.
Wow.
I was always worried about how she was going to receive what I had to say. So there was a lot of times I didn't say it.
Sure.
And then what I felt like was when I did say it, I was saying how I felt.
Mhm.
But then what I actually realized, I was saying all the surface level shit.
Mhm.
I really wasn't
Fact.
saying how it really felt.
Yeah.
Like how it really, really felt. Like I was just telling you, like, there's some bullshit and blah, 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 blah. And we wouldn't even say it that way because we didn't argue. We've really, I think on one hand I can count in the 24 years that we've been married.
Yeah.
Maybe on one hand we've argued that many times.
Yeah.
But I was just holding back.
Yeah.
I was holding back.
I feel that, bro, because I think about with my marriage, we talk about marriage 1.0, marriage 2.0. We're in 2.0
Thought
right
about
now.
that earlier.
In 1.0, I was moving from a deeply traumatic space, right? From past relationships, past family situations, etc. And so when I met her, I was not sharing or emoting very much at all, except for surface level things. And so as she pushed me, like, share more, like, I'm here for you, and all these things, like, when she finally got that door open, like, I was giving her shit and didn't care how she got it. Like,
Right.
and my justification was, hey, this is what you asked for.
That's
Right. And no, it wasn't what she asked for.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But that's how I processed it. Like, this
Mhm.
is what you asked for. So now don't get mad or feel any type of negative way about me sharing, because this is what you fucking said you wanted.
Yeah.
It wasn't until, again, couples therapy where I learned, like, oh, I got to package this differently.
Yeah.
Right? That I was able to move from that space to where the communication was then effective.
I'm big on tone though. And I use that as an excuse to not listen. Right.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, man, your tone, you
Mhm.
got to come better. Come at me with a better tone than this.
Mhm.
Right. Instead of listening through
Yeah.
the tone to the words. Right.
You know what's funny? I'm sorry, but it just hit me. How ironic is that shit, given the fact that you were an athlete and my daughter is an MI professional. She's only 16. And how many times do people tell you it's not the delivery, it's what they said?
Mm-hmm. I think, but let me expound a little bit on that. As a professional, as an athlete, professional, collegiate, prep, it doesn't matter. You get talked to so crazy for so long.
Yep.
Right. The coaches yell at you, they cuss at you, because they're trying to pull out the best in you. Right. I think we, as athletes, you start to cage up how you really feel about people talking to you like that.
Yeah.
Because for so long, coaches cussed and yelled.
Yeah.
So when people who love you or you love then present that way, you're like, what the hell? Like, no, I'm not taking this.
That's interesting.
Right. And so we, even with coaches, like I would literally not listen. Like, man, you ain't talking about that.
Yeah.
Right. Because it was so repetitive.
Yeah.
Like, you need to do this. This is how you need to act. This is what you need to do. You need to bring. I heard that a million times, bro. You ain't got to tell me that again.
Yeah.
And so it ended up being where I'm like in one ear and out the other. So in all of my life, in all the other relationships, it ended up being, all right, if you don't come to me with what I feel or I deem is the right tone, then it's in one ear and out the other.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. Because to me, right, wrong, or indifferent, that's how I packaged it. Right. And so I'm like, I put that tone in this package with coach.
Wow.
I'm good on that. Right. So I'm now I'm learning to listen through the noise and to the words.
Yeah.
Hard for me.
Yeah.
But I'm learning how to accept however it's delivered, to understand the emotion behind. Oh, I hurt you. Okay, that's where this comes from.
Yeah.
Or you just felt like I needed to do something different. That's where this coming from. Right. Versus, why are you talking to me crazy like that? What the hell wrong with you? Yeah, no. So it shouldn't. Yeah, that's what I'm learning how to do today.
Yeah, you're ahead of me in your emotional journey in that way.
Yeah.
Because nah, bro, I'm not there. I'm not in a place where, like I said, my wife and I have an understanding, so I don't have to manage that with her. But with just anybody else, like I've not ascended to the place of emotional maturity where I can listen through the tone.
Oh, me either.
Yeah.
See, I'm working to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did say it's a work in progress.
I still will be
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna puff my chest too,
yeah,
right? So however you come,
yeah,
that's what you gonna get.
yeah.
I'm learning to get there.
I've had to learn two things. One is I was always the person that didn't bring conflict, but if you brought it to me, I was, then it is what it is. But I still try to be very, I don't know, not political, but diplomatic. That's
Yes.
the word. Very,
Yes.
very diplomatic to try to diffuse the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So that is pretty much how I operate to an extent.
Okay, explain that to extent.
Well, I mean, as an example, I can talk about it now, but like recently, my daughter's club coach came at me. It was a few months ago now. She's on a different club coach, so I don't care. I'll talk about him. He came at me and was like, I'm going to tell you this one time. I'm going to tell you this one time only. I was like, whoa, hold on, son.
Punched in the mouth.
Now, it was on the phone. So it was good. It was on the phone. I was like, you're not going to talk to me like I'm a child. Like, I know we talking about a child, but you're not going to talk to me like I'm a child. And so there's a line, right? There's a line. And so that line has always been there for me throughout my life. Like I've always been the diplomatic one, but you cross that line and you're going to get the business. And now that didn't always mean you got hands, but you won't get these words.
Mm-hmm.
Like we talked about this before, like the Jones, people jabbing you, and I would say some things back after a while. Cause I grew up in Miami, right? And I grew up in Carroll City, and I was probably one of the lighter skinned people who wasn't Hispanic, although I do have Hispanic in my background. So I kind of got made fun of a lot, right? My hair was different. My skin tone was different. I spoke more proper than everybody else. And so they would say all kinds of things. And I'd just be like, oh, okay, all right. And then it would get to a point, and then you got the business, and you never said a word to me again. Right? I mean, literally, you never wanted to be my friend ever again, because that's how hard I would come at you. Now, I'm not proud of the things I said, but that's my explanation for, there is an extent. He would tell you like, well, we'll go through some conversations. I was like, dude, you being petty. Like, I mean, it's going to get to a point where I was just like, and the most reason I was like, you ain't motherfucking feelings.
But he is petty though.
Yes, I can be petty, and I can be in my feelings.
But you petty.
As well as the other two gentlemen on this.
Of course, we all can. But so I did want to bring some more levity to the conversation. So the vast majority of our audience are men. Talk to us about your professional baseball career. Like, who'd you play for? Who'd you play against? Who was the toughest person you played against? Yeah, I'm curious about that.
How'd you even get there?
Yeah.
So I'll start with how I got there. My mother taught me how to play baseball.
Wow. Okay.
My mom spent a lot of times on the foundational parts of baseball. My cousins who played, I have one cousin, Raphael, played at Southern University. And so I wanted to idolize that man, right? Because he was 12 years older than I was. He did all the things that I wanted. He played shortstop. I wanted to play shortstop. So going to his house every day, it's 5 boys and me and my brother. We baseball games every single day through the summer and after schools. So I think thank God gave me the talent, because I didn't have coaching and all that other stuff. So to progress out of high school, in high school, Ryan Thibodeau, he played with the Cubs for a multitude of years, was my teammate. And scouts were there to watch him. And I caught a ball at third base, threw the ball across the field at 90, and that at 90 miles an hour, and that was the introduction to. Oh wait, there's another kid that we need to be watching. So my junior year, I started getting scouted. My senior year, I was offered to go. I was offered at like 9 schools, but I had a big head, like so, and I was smart mouth. You know that already. So I talked a little bit about the coaches and how coach would talk, coach speak right in one ear and out the other. I'm not listening to you.
Yeah.
Right? And because of that, my coach kept all of my recruiting letters.
Oh wow!
So I had one recruiting letter to Southern University and one to LSU. So I went to LSU. Well, prior to that, I entered. Well, I was going to enter the draft. My mom was like, "No," because I was projected to go in the 28th round.
Okay.
I would have made some money, but it's just
not much, right?
Not much. I went to Southern for a year, and went to LSU for a year. Didn't play because it was national championship team. Transferred to Southern, played a year, and then went to play with the Braves organization. Got drafted in the 7th round. Played with the Braves in AA and AAA.
Nice.
The hardest player, yeah, man, I don't even know. Because I played a position, right? I didn't pitch, so
right.
There was nobody that
what
was
about
really
a pitcher?
Pitchers, nobody comes to mind.
Okay.
I could tell you though, I played in the era with David Justice and Ron Gantz and that 96, 90 to 96 years, 93, 94, 95 years. So I played with some of those kind of coming up. And Dave Justice was coming off of, even AAA coming off of injury. Played with him for a short time.
Oh, nice.
Not very long.
Right, but I mean,
But yeah, so that was my kind of going into how I got out of it. I know you didn't ask, but I'll tell you. I was sliding and tore my ACL. Rehabbed and got cut the next year. So I had to make a decision. So I went back to school, finished my education, and kind of went that route, the corporate route.
Good. Yeah. Cool. All right. I'm going to kind of bring us to a close. And the way that we like to do this, there are a couple questions, and then I'll ask you to talk to the audience in a second. But first, in the series of last few questions, I'd like to get your opinion on the fact that the world sees the Black man as a beast.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. It's a misconception because we are not beastly at all. I think the whitewashing of us allows that misconception to continue to go on. But we emote, we have emotions, we hurt, we bleed, we cry, and the understanding of that, or the thought that we are beasts, should be kind of squashed because we're real people.
Say more about the whitewashing of us.
I think so. Think about, from when you start to think back to history, the slavery. We were stronger than everybody else, right? And even moving now to where we are today, it's easy for the media and the media to portray us in a way that we are beastly. So they won't show the kindness, they won't show the lovingness, they won't show us as parents, as fathers, as husbands. They don't show that to the masses. They show the criminal aspect. They show us as beasts, for lack of a better word. So I think that's where what I mean by whitewash. They only show what
supports
they want.
Their narrative.
They support to support their narrative. They don't show us as loving people.
Did you see this latest thing that I hate to call a woman's name, but Marjorie Taylor Greene was talking about? Was it Crowley? the congresswoman? Did you hear? Did you see that?
I didn't.
No.
She said she was basically a fake black woman because she went to private school.
Oh yeah.
and
I did
law
know.
school, and I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your view of what you think a typical black person is. Okay. Anyway, what in this world makes you feel loved?
My family right now. My family, my wife, my kids, definitely make me feel loved. And I think I have a brotherhood of iron sharpening iron, right? I have a brother like Malik, and I know I can call him when times are rough. I can call him to, laugh and joke. If I just need to say, brother, I love you, I can call that man and say that, right? And I have a circle of 6 or 7 guys that I call my circle, right? Whereas if there's anything that needs to be happening from my perspective of rough times or good times, I can call on them. So that circle in my family, it makes me feel love right now.
So, love for you to do us a favor. Speak to the brothers in the audience and the audience in general, and give some words of wisdom and speak life into those folks from your perspective.
So if I can leave you with anything right now, it would be that we are not beasts. We are loving, caring, genuine people. I would ask you to be authentically yourself in every situation. Understand that there is going to be hate that follows you everywhere you go, but overcome that. Be who you need to be in the situation, but authentically be yourself.
Well, thank you for being here, brother. Really, really appreciate you taking the
Absolutely.
time on this day to be with us,
100%.
sharing your words of wisdom.
Appreciate you.
And with that, we're out.